How's everybody doing? Welcome back to my channel in a brand new video. So today I'm going to be reading through One Piece chapter 1062. Now, I'm really excited about this chapter because of what happened in the last chapter. So chapter 1061, the freaking big bombshell of news that we got, the big reveal was that Dr. Vegapunk, after many years, finally made an appearance in the main story. Now, to me, this was surprising for two reasons. Number one, we just entered the new arc, the Egghead Island arc. And we were just introduced to Egghead Island by name through Jewelry Bonney in the last chapter. And it was mentioned that this island was Vegapunk's island. So I thought that was all we were going to get. I thought we were going to get possibly a Vegapunk appearance midway through the arc, maybe towards the end of the arc. But no, it happened the very same chapter, 2 pages later. So we got the Vegapunk introduction, face reveal. But the big surprise here, on top of being revealed this early into this arc, Vegapunk is also a woman. Apparently, Dr. Vegapunk is a girl. Now, this was surprising to me because throughout the entire series, Dr. Vegapunk has always been referred to as a man, as a guy, right? Now, it is very possible that the Vegapunk we were introduced to could simply just be a robot or an avatar for the real Dr. Vegapunk, who might still be hidden in the shadows. Because apparently, as far as we know, Dr. Vegapunk is a very old man. So it's very well possible that with how smart he is, he could be experimenting on how to transfer his consciousness into another body, like a robot, for example. Which would also kind of explain why he was doing all these experiments on Kuma. Maybe Kuma was sort of a test subject for that purpose. And it kind of does make sense because if Vegapunk really is as genius as everyone makes him out to be, I don't think the government would allow Vegapunk to die. You know what I'm saying? Like, Vegapunk is so smart, the government cannot lose him. So it would be in their best interest, for Vegapunk to continue living in some way. So could he upload his consciousness to a robot, a cyborg? Very well possible. Could be. Also, the Dr. Vegapunk we were introduced to has the number 2. It had 02 on her chest. So going by history, it could be, looking at the pattern, it could be numerical order. Maybe this Vegapunk, in the form of a woman, is robot number 2 in a line of many. One thing I am curious about is how Luffy and Bonney are going to react to Vegapunk, because if I remember correctly, in the last chapter, they were split up from the main group. So Dr. Vegapunk revealing herself to the Straw Hats, Luffy and Bonney aren't there. So we know that Bonney was on a mission to find Vegapunk, likely to ask her what the heck happened to Kuma and why. And that's something we as viewers, as readers, want to know as well. And Luffy, he really doesn't care about news. He really does not care about anything that is happening in the world. He leaves that up to the others. Just recently, Robin was reading the newspaper, and she was all like, "You want to hear what's going on in the world?" And Luffy was like, "Nah, I'll pass." So it's going to be interesting to see how Luffy interacts with Vegapunk as well as Bonney. Which I definitely expect some big answers, some big mysteries to be revealed, because we still don't really know what devil fruits are. I mean, we know what they are, but what are they? You know what I'm saying? What is the secret to devil fruits? How do they grant people powers? Where do they come from? What's the deal with Luffy's Gum fruit, as now we know its true ability? What else, what answers does Vegapunk have for us? So I'm really interested to see how this is going to play out, because this is Vegapunk, when you think about it, has a huge impact on the One Piece storyline. From behind the scenes, Vegapunk, she's been working her magic, and it affects everything in the story in the One Piece world directly. So I'm really curious to see what Vegapunk is all about. And is she good or evil? I think she's in the middle. I think whatever fits her interests, that's what she goes with. Because she's not entirely on the government side, because if she was, she wouldn't have granted Kuma his last wish on protecting the Sunny until the Straw Hats one of the Straw Hats got back. You know what I'm saying? So stuff like that. Anyway, I think I've gone on long enough, but there was so much to talk about. Like, great chapter, 1061. So 1062 is out. Let me go ahead and just get into the reading. One Piece chapter 1062, Adventure in the Land of Science. Cover story. It is Germa 66, Cold-Blooded Voyage, Volume 20. Meanwhile, in Chocolate Town on Cacao Island. A bewildering development. Vegapunk? The Vegapunk? What a fracas. Vegapunk, you're like my role model. Oh yeah, speaking of Vegapunk, this is going to be Frankie's arc for sure. Like, Frankie and Vegapunk definitely going to have a connection. I mean, Frankie blew up her island back in the day, and I forget when Kuma separated Frankie, and that's got to come back eventually, right? Anyway, moving on. So Frankie is having a freaking fanboy moment. Vegapunk, you're like my role model. I killed 2 years in your hometown, Baltimore. There it is. I should have just read ahead to see where Vegapunk was from. All right, so I killed 2 years in your hometown, Baltimore. After going through your lab, there was still a load of stuff I didn't get a chance to look into. It's a giant mech of my dreams. Just how many times bigger than General Frankie is that? I can't wait to show Luffy and Chopper. What a stunning lady. Okay. All right. Just a moment. This is the first I've heard of Vegapunk being a woman. And she looks far too young. Vegapunk has been active for many years. Okay, so now we have Robin with her suspicion. All right, so she's suspicious. She doesn't believe this is truly Vegapunk. Naturally, who said this was the main Stella body? You're looking at Punk 02, Vegapunk Lilith. In any case, we always run through our research funds in a jiffy, so we'll allow you to skedaddle if you just relinquish your valuables. Okay, so, Model 02. All right. Okay, so that kind of answers that. What? These waters are chilly enough without, yeah, okay. So what? These waters are chilly enough without you being cold too. You just fished us out. What kind of rescue do you call this? Are you deaf? This is not a rescue. Trespassing on these waters is nigh impossible. Resist and they will sink you without question. What the heck? Take a gander at the weaponized sea beast. Holy dang, do we have weaponized sea beasts now? Dang, they look tight though. I like the freaking mecha armor on them. They just popped out. Weaponized sea beasts? That's rad. Yeah, but my fear is overwhelming my awe. Yeah. Lilith, what are you doing? Why do you always insist on looting? Have some pride as scientist. Have some pride as a scientist. Shaka, put a sock in it. Can your infernal pride keep the lights on? They're the Straw Hat Pirates. A newly dubbed Emperor crew are not going to merely surrender. Precisely. They must have a heap of treasure stashed away. Even so, you've made a foolish blunder. Blunder? I have them surrounded. Don't underestimate them. Look at the swordsman. That's Pirate Hunter Zoro. His bounty is 1.111 billion. See how calm he is? He knows you're in range. He knows you're in range for him to end you in an instant. Yeah, Zoro's ready. The same goes for Devil Child Nico Robin back there. But what can they do against all the sea beasts? The strong can appraise their prey and prioritize the most essential target first. You should have been more cautious. I like how how Sanji and Frankie are just having a moment here, just in awe at what's before them. Those imbeciles around them have lulled me into a false sense of security. Confound it. I was careless. Hey, Vegapunk. There's something I want from you. You'd better play nice. Got it? No matter. Bring them here. I have an interest in that crew. Punk 01, Dr. Vegapunk Shaka. Okay. Then we got a translator's note. As of this chapter, the old man voice is only really evident with Lilith. Okay. Okay. I wonder... Okay. So you've been here before? Yeah, when I was a kid. It was still a pretty run-of-the-mill lab at the time, though. So how come you came back? I'm here for answers. I'll have that bastard's life if I don't like what I hear. Huh? Vegapunk's the one who turned my dad into a cyborg. Whoa! Yo! We're getting some answers here. Okay. Did you hear that? Vegapunk's the one who turned my dad into a cyborg. And then freaking... I think Luffy's like, whoa, that's awesome. Dang. It's not... Dang, dude. So now we know the relationship. It's not. He's completely lost his sense of self. He doesn't even know who he is anymore. He's nothing but a living weapon now. There we go. The mystery of Bonney and Kuma. Why was she so emotional? I can't even talk how much this information just hit me. So, the mystery of Kuma and Bonney's relationship. Why was she so emotional in Marineford and at the Reverie? Frickin' father-daughter. Kuma is Bonney's dad? Dang, dude. That's awful. Yeah, Jinbei's like, that's awful. Yeah, it's unforgivable. Sorry, Bogey. It's Bonney. Yeah, Bonney. We made it to the surface. Let's track down some grub. Whoa. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that I ran into Sabo at Marijois. Whatever, I can spill the beans later. What is all this stuff? Is that a giant robot? And a space monster? There's all sorts of things up there. Dang. Sick panel. I like that art. What in the world? I'll be back after I take one for a ride. Hey, we're infiltrating this place, remember? Gum. Luffy and caution and being stealthy and sneaky, that does not mix. That's not a good mix, so here comes typical Luffy. Alright, take care, Luffy. Gum rocket. Dang. Wow, Luffy's been eating. He's been eating. You okay, Luffy? I thought I got swallowed, but... Whoa. Is that a giant parfait? There's cookies and fruits, too. Look at all that cream. Thanks for the meal. Oh, you know, this is actually a pretty sick combo. I just realized Bonney is the glutton, right? So this is going to be pretty... and Chopper, too. Like, all three of these guys are into food. This is going to be a nice team, I think. Thanks for the meal. Hold it, you guys. Why would they leave food lying around? This has to be a trap. Okay. Dang. What the? We went right through. How can we see it but not touch it? It's so cruel to make us hungry like that. Oh crap. Did we die earlier and not notice? There's no way we're ghosts. I've never seen one before, but this parfait must be a hologram. What the hell is that? This ticks me off. It's a 3D image made of light. You see them in comics and science fiction stuff. It's just an image? Oh, the space monster. That's why I went right through it. The giant robot must be one too. No one can make something like that. Hey, what's this? All these buttons have pictures of food on them. Give up already. Everything on this island's a sham. That reminds me. Weren't the seas around this island freezing? You'd expect this place to have a similar climate, but... Actually, this is a winter island, but the environment is set to tropical mode in here. Holy dang, this child is huge. With my island aircon... With my island aircon invention, you can specify and regulate the temperature of an entire area right down to the soil. This one's as big as Kaido. You're a hologram too, huh? Oh, no, hold on. I misread that. Luffy is asking, you're a hollow thing too, right? Okay. Dang. Alright. Alright. Luffy's like, I'm sorry. He just crashed into something. Something's dripping. Oh, dang. Is that actual food? Food time? Dang, look at that. Vega Cola, a freaking burger, and fries. Not bad, huh? A hamburger meal and a drink came out? Who made it? You can touch it. It's real. So good. Press the next one. Press the next one. Steak. Dang, dude. They're just getting free food out of at the push of a button, huh? Cotton candy, cake, ramen, everything, man. Fried chicken, hot dog. Dang. Okay. Well, at least you appreciate my work. That's the unnamed cooking device. It can turn raw ingredients into one of 500 unique dishes in under a minute. The make do with what you've got mode is the best. Pizza and pasta, okay. But I can't be too happy since the lack of competent engineers means that this bucket of bolts can't be mass produced. Is following the blueprints that damn hard? It really pisses me off. The island aircon is in the same damn boat. Its sensors can monitor living creatures, and it could tame the weather if we just had a bit more money. There are endless ideas, but not enough resources. She punched a hologram? Dang. Of course, my photonic gloves make it possible to physically interact with light. Okay. And perception shapes your sense of reality. But touching a projected object turns that on its head, doesn't it? So that girl isn't real. Isn't real? Okay. Debates on what makes something real are as old as time. It's something you'll have to decide for yourself, but I consider the matter settled. So, just what are you? Me? Just your resident scientific genius for hire. Dr. Vegapunk. So there's many of them, dude. Punk Atlas. Okay. Number 6. Well, crap. I skipped to the next page on accident. Okay, I'm back on the other page. That was my bad. I didn't see anything, though. I quickly clicked out. Okay. So, this is Dr. Vegapunk number 6. Punk Atlas. What the hell? That's a total lie. Bonney knows some. Okay. You're Vegapunk? I've heard that name. Kobe told me about you. New world. So, what now? Just keep listening, Lucci. Vegapunk is technically still a single individual, but his genius is only second to his busyness. When there's not enough time, they say you're as busy as a beaver, right? Okay. Well, imagine if there were more than one beaver. That was his grand idea, to split up into 6 people. Okay, so there's 6 of them. In other words, all 6 of these satellites are also Dr. Vegapunk. And I'm the weird one for thinking that sounds impossible. Geniuses are such a pain. Okay, so we got the main Dr. Vegapunk, and then we got 6 others as well. So we have a map here, or a design. So we got Punk 1, Logic Shaka, 2 is Evil Lilith, Flare Edison, Wisdom Pythagoras, Wrath Atlas, and Desire Yoke. Okay. Alright. In short, our assignment is to return this problem child back to Egghead. It's gotta be a pacifista, right? But why does he have a star? Dude. Oh, it's a freaking Seraphim, dude. I'm dumb. Alright, that's my mistake, dude. So that's a Seraphim, right? So I knew something was off, but that is the freaking one of the new secret weapons. So we saw Seraphim Boa, Mihawk. This is Seraphim Kuma. The star, the design, and the freaking black wings, tan skin. So yeah, I don't know. Like that was just I don't know. Was that a brain fart on my part? Probably. But anyway, so that's Seraphim, and yeah, we got a reintroduction to CP0. So Kaku, Lucci, and Stussy. All right, moving on. So we're meant to kill the single most useful man in the world. They're gonna kill Vegapunk. Okay. Someone with instinct like yours should know better than to question these things. I missed a bubble because I was scrolling down. So Lucci says, we're meant to kill the single most useful man in the world. I wonder if this has something to do with the recent Lulucia incident. Someone with instinct like yours should know better than to question these things. Agreed, don't let us get in any hot water, Lucci. A calculated plan, and that's going to be the end of chapter 1062. Okay, so the interesting thing about this, right? So as many suspected, as myself also suspected, you know, when I first read the chapter, Dr. Vegapunk the woman is not actually the real Dr. Vegapunk. He has six freaking avatars. And we got them all laid out here in this graph. So that means the real Dr. Vegapunk is still hidden. We have not gotten a real face reveal from him. Interesting enough is that freaking CP0 is now tasked with the mission to kill Vegapunk. So that's interesting to me because why? You know what I'm saying? Like, he's been so useful to the government. Why now? And then Lucci is suspecting it's because of the recent Lulucia incident. So, but then again, so Lucci's questioning it, right? Stuzy and Kaku are like, you know what? You probably shouldn't poke around too much because, like, you should know better, you know, like, he has those animal instincts, you know, he does have animal instincts. So both Stuzy and Kaku are like, you should know better than to poke around in business that deep. But, like, okay. Why is, I'm getting some conflicting vibes now from Lucci, you know, because he was always when we saw him back in the day in Water 7 Ennie's lobby, he was always absolute justice. Like, he was like freaking hardcore world government, absolute justice, right? And then he gets defeated. He comes back as CP0. But from this panel, am I just not interpreting this the right way? It seems like he's kind of unsure about the mission at hand here. There's some shady stuff going in the government because even with, like, he mentions Lulucia, right? So Im ordered the destruction of Lulucia, and then the freaking 5 elders, they were just straight up saying, they just straight up told their agents, the government, Lulucia Kingdom never existed. And that was it. Like, they practically said, you don't talk about Lulucia. This island never existed. You did not see what happened. So they're trying to... What the heck is their plan, dude? And now we have a... You can tell they mean business because they have freaking Seraphim Kuma with them, right? These things are no joke. They have... So they're going to use Vegapunk's new technology to take him out, apparently. So Vegapunk invented these Seraphims. They have Lunarian DNA, practically indestructible. Frickin' took Blackbeard by surprise too, of all people. Like, Blackbeard had to go on the frickin' defense versus one of these guys. And then they left without a scratch after that entire fight. Like, what the heck? So... I don't know. Like, I'm trying to go over details in my head, what they could be planning. They want to kill Vegapunk. Why does the government want to get rid of Vegapunk at this point? What does he know? And that's what I'm saying, right? Because Vegapunk is not completely on the government side. He's just in the middle. He's neutral. He'll do what the government asks him to do. But at the same time, he's not above helping out the pirates, as I mentioned. The biggest thing he did was allow Kuma to protect the Sunny during the time skip. You know what I'm saying? If he was completely on the government side, that was not ever going to be a thing. It would not have happened. Speaking of Kuma, Bonney and Kuma are related, father-daughter. So now we know the relationship of that. So at first, you know, like, now I'm wondering, right? So at the Reverie, at the Reverie, Bonney was disguised as an old woman who was... the queen of the Sorbet Kingdom. So that's got to be her mom, right? That's got to be Bonney's mom slash Kuma's wife, potentially. Unless, it's gotta be, right? You know, I was gonna say unless Bonney's actually that old woman and then she just takes on a younger appearance for the story, but I kind of doubt that. I think the Bonney we see as the Bonney that's actually real, and then old woman Bonney was just her mom slash Kuma's wife, I guess. Anyway, the point is here, I just want to know what the heck happened to Kuma. Why did he go from being a king to being a subject, a slave to the world government, to the point where he has no consciousness? And I'm pretty sure Bonney has met Vegapunk, because, you know, Vegapunk number 6 introduces herself as Vegapunk, right? And then Bonney's just like, that's a total lie. So she has to know Vegapunk's face. I assume that's the vibe that this panel gives off. Anyway, speaking of, I'm talking a lot because there's so much information that I gotta like just get out. Like so many thoughts I have to get out in this first reaction. So now we have CP0 in the picture again, right? So CP0 was freaking they were a disappointment in Wano. Like ever since Dressrosa, they were introduced. Robin said they were the highest, like the strongest tier of Cypher Pole. And then they finally show up at Wano and they get freaking wrecked, dude. Like, they get wrecked. They do nothing. Izo takes out 2 of them by himself. Izo takes out 2. And then Kaido just OKOs 1, right? So, they were a big disappointment in Wano. Like, honestly, dude. I was so disappointed in them. But maybe now that we have main characters coming back, Lucci, Kaku, and Stuzy, maybe these 3 are going to put up more of a fight. I expect it. And honestly, it makes sense because for the longest time, people have been wondering, okay, are we ever going to get a Luffy versus Lucci rematch? Like, are they ever going to cross paths again, and who's going to be stronger? At this point, obviously Luffy's stronger, but Lucci's not a slouch anymore, I would assume. If they do come head-to-head or have some sort of interaction, I'm curious to see how that's going to go. As the story goes on, I do feel like there's going to be alliance changes. Some people working for the government might switch over to the pirate side, and then some of the pirate side might switch over to the government. I feel like that's how this whole story is going to play out, honestly. It's already giving off those type of vibes. Because, you know, according to the entire One Piece world, there's no true ruler, but now we know that there is, right? So what about when that news gets out? How are the people going to feel, especially the government, right? The kingdoms and everything, right? How are they going to feel that there actually was a true ruler in the shadows this entire time? Gonna feel betrayed, jealous? I don't know. There's definitely gonna be a freaking big war coming up. Kind of looking at Kuma's number, that looks like a 6, but like a 3 and a 6, but I don't know if that's just a number or a design that happens to look like an. Anyway, also, I was just going through the pages, right? Even Zoro has some questions for Vegapunk. I can't remember a time in the story where Zoro had any type of interest in Vegapunk. I can't remember. Like, I'm trying to go over the entire series in my head. Like, any possible time he showed even a slight interest in Dr. Vegapunk, I can't remember. But apparently there's something he wants from him. You know, he says, hey, Vegapunk, there's something I want from you, so you better play nice, got it? That's what Zoro says. I guess it's not crazy anymore when you realize why there are so many Vegapunk models. It's possible Vegapunk knows or could sense that he did something that could get him killed, so that's why he's doing all of this. Man, Oda's been freaking tearing it up. Great chapters. Like, ever since Wano ended, great chapters. How's everybody doing? Welcome back to my channel in a brand new video. So today I'm going to be reading through One Piece chapter 1063. And what else can I say other than what I've already said before? And that is that Oda has really been on a freaking incredible streak of chapters ever since Wano ended. 1062 was a pretty good chapter. I think the thing that stuck out to me the most, one of the questions that I've had for the longest time, and I think many people have had, is what was Jewelry Bonney's relation to Kuma? And as it turns out, as we found out last chapter, Kuma and Bonney are related, father and daughter, right? So, and then, you know, we have that established. So now I'm wondering, like, we got to get Kuma backstory in this chapter for real. Like, we have to. And, you know, because Dr. Vegapunk is involved. Oh, and as we found out last chapter as well, is that Dr. Vegapunk, the woman that we saw a couple chapters ago, that's not actually the real Dr. Vegapunk. Rather, one of, I believe it was 6 or 7 split personalities. I'm going to call them personalities, even though they're their own individual person. But you know what I mean? Dr. Vegapunk has split himself into 6 other Vegapunks, per se. And I think it was 6 or 7, one of those numbers. I gotta remember. My bad for not having that number up and ready. But the point is that the true Dr. Vegapunk has yet to be revealed. We have no idea who he is. We don't know what he looks like. He hasn't done a face reveal. Rather, he communicates by using these avatars. So that's something that was established as well. Also, it turns out that CP0 is, you know, they're making their way towards Egghead with the mission. They've been tasked with the mission to kill Dr. Vegapunk. Now, this to me doesn't make sense. I'm wondering, why would that be? Because as we all know, Dr. Vegapunk is a freaking genius. Genius scientist, very useful to the world government. But now, the world government themselves have tasked CP0 with killing Dr. Vegapunk. So that makes me wonder why. I've always thought that Dr. Vegapunk wasn't completely on either side. He's neither, you know, he isn't good or evil. He's just in the middle. He'll do whatever the heck he wants, depending on what the benefits are. So another surprise that I want to touch on is that out of all the CP0 members, we got Lucci, Kaku, and Stuzy, and they're bringing along the Kuma Seraphim as well with them. So out of the 3 CP0 members, the one who surprisingly seems kind of unsure about the whole situation is Rob Lucci. This to me stuck out because we all know the Rob Lucci that we came to know in Water 7 and Annie's Lobby, and even back as far back as not as far back, even the Reverie, you know, when he briefly showed up at the Reverie. Lucci is all about absolute justice. He just wants to essentially kill. That's what he wants to do, and what better place to do it than by becoming an assassin of the world government. First CP9, now CP0. So, out of all the people, Lucci is the one who is on edge. He's like, why are we killing one of the most important people to the world government? Why are we gonna kill him? You know? And then Kaku and Stuzy are kind of like, you know what, just don't question it. You know, it's best to not question it. Let's go through with the mission and then go on about our day. So that is something that was really surprising to me. Lucci seems on edge. And now I'm wondering, who is CP0 going to fight? Because at this point, I think it's safe to say that unless CP0, specifically Lucci, unless he leveled up to an immense magnitude, I don't think he can touch Luffy. I really don't. Like, you know, I've always thought, you know, ever since Water 7, Annie's Lobby, I always had it in my head, man, I would love to see a Luffy versus Lucci rematch. But at the point we are now in the story, Luffy is beyond Emperor level at this point, right? I don't think it's a fair fight. It's not going to be much of a fight if Lucci were to go one-on-one, 1v1 versus Lucci. I don't think that's going to happen. So my thing is, my idea is that perhaps CP0 is just going to be fighting versus Robin and the rest of the Straw Hats, because there is history between Robin and CP9 slash CP0 and really the entire government. So I think that would make more sense rather than having Lucci versus Luffy, a rematch fight. You know what I'm saying? But who knows? Maybe Oda will surprise us. Maybe it won't be a direct fight. Maybe it'll be a lot of people fighting together. Maybe Vegapunk will pledge his allegiance to the pirate world. Could be. There's a lot of ways that this arc could turn out. And the vibe that I'm getting of this arc is that it's possibly going to be a very short arc. Not like the Reverie, but kind of like Zoe. Very short, to the point, a lot of information, a lot of key details being revealed. And then from that, we're gonna move ahead into the next island, whatever the heck that's gonna be. But yeah, so that's something that, I'm just basically telling everything that I'm thinking about at the moment. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say about the last chapter, and I'm excited for what this chapter is going to bring, because like I said, Oda he's been on it. Like he's been on it, Very good chapters ever since Wano ended. One Piece chapter 1063, The Only Family I've Got. Cover story is Germa 66, Cold-Blooded Voyage, Volume 21, Pudding's Been Kidnapped. Dang, frickin', I gotta pay more attention to the cover story, because apparently Aokiji is in Whole Cake and he froze everything. So you got Brulee crying, Crackers frozen, it looks like, and then Pudding's been kidnapped apparently. So I wonder they really should animate these cover stories. Like, instead of filler episodes in One Piece anime, give us the cover stories animated. You know what I'm saying? And like, why don't they do that? I wonder if they're ever going to animate them. Like, compile them into, like, movie specials or something. It'd be cool. Anyway, so that's the cover story. A satisfying meal. Phew. Delish. What's keeping everybody? I bet they'll all love the food machine. Except maybe Sanji. You guys sure can eat. All 4 of you have bulging bellies. Mine was already like that. And, this is a robot dog. He looks like a robot dog / train combo. He has a cool design. I like him. All right, so well, I ought to get back to work. If I don't run riot, no one will. This girl's tall. What kind of job is that? Who are they? I think it's safe to assume they're lab assistants of some kind. Odd. This place seemed deserted a second ago. Were they hiding because they weren't sure about us? Isn't it a little hot for those outfits? No way, for real? Luffy? Whoa, these clothes feel so light. They're nice and breezy too. Where did you get those? Dang, look at the freaking initials on this, SSG. Interesting. Dude, Luffy kind of looks like freaking Astro Boy. Like, this outfit he's wearing right now, he's looking a little bit like Astro Boy to me. Like the outfit, the shoes, everything. I wonder if that's if Oda used some inspiration of Astro Boy in this arc. I wouldn't doubt it, honestly. All right, next page. Here, nothing beats free clothes after a complimentary meal. Mine still feels sticky from all that seawater. It'd be nice to change. Style selection. How about a battle uniform? Hey, wait, I can undress myself. Dang. All right, I'm liking Jewelry Bonney's outfit here. She looks nice. That's a nice outfit, dude. This is like freaking Astro Boy inspired. No, like, I have no doubt now. Look at this. These are light. The boots make me feel like I'm floating. They even have tropical styles. These would make for perfect disguises, but it's probably too late for that. It's so futuristic. Chopper looks tight. I like him. Jinbei is just wearing... Okay. Yeah. Well, I'm off to find some weapons and deal with Vegapunk. Catch you late. And then she got interrupted. Heads up. It's Kuma. Puma? Is it just me? Or is he looking at us? Dang, dude, look at this. Hold up. Police. So there's a freaking Kuma police officer in here. Let's get out of here. He's about to charge. So this is a big panel spread, so I'm going to try to read in order, not miss any bubbles. So Kuma's about to fire his laser. He's going to fire his laser beam. Provisions and garments reported stolen. Thieves detected. Huh? That stuff wasn't free? Dang, Bonnie's just like, has a shocked look on her face. Then why did it just pop out like that? Surely the damage he's causing is worse than what we did. Is he trying to kill us? That's a bit harsh for theft. We'll be toast if we don't fight back. Yeah, it's just self-defense. Then again, we are pirates. Hostile hosts come with the territory. Either way, we've got no choice. Gum gum. And then a sudden stop. Oh, dang. Bonney stopped Luffy. Okay. Dang. What the heck, Bonney? Didn't you see his lasers? I've got to slug him. Man, poor Bonney. She's just traumatized. Is that actually Kuma? Hold up. No. The real Kuma is with Dragon. No. My bad. I'm thinking something else. This is the real Kuma is with Dragon. He was in Marizia. He was freed. He's with the revolutionaries now. So, Bonney is just saying that's my father because she can't take what she's seeing. Dang, I wonder what that's like, dude. So Bonnie's crying, that's my father. What? He's the only family I've got. There's the chapter title. Roll credits. No, that's interesting, though. So Bonney and Kuma are... Apparently, Kuma's the only family that Bonney has as of right now. Okay. When you said your dad was turned into a cyborg, you were talking about Kuma? I'm begging you. Please don't hurt my daddy. Dang, dude. This is... Okay, this panel right here, dude. I love the artwork. I love the anguish and the sadness and, like, this... Oda did a nice job drawing Bonney in this panel. You could just feel the freaking raw emotion that she's going through. And then they have to add a freaking flashback, like a side panel of little Bonney with Kuma when he was still a human. Dang, that sucks, dude. Man, but that's not her dad. That's not her dad. Luffy gotta, like, force her out of it, like, make her snap out of it. You dummy, get out of there. It's just a pacifista. Crap, did he make it in time? A certain sea in the new world. Oh, dang, we got freaking Blackbeard. I recognize that laugh. So, a certain sea in the new world. And then there's Blackbeard, his signature laugh. Zeh-ha-ha-ha. I love this guy. This guy's tight, one of my favorite characters. It's no good, Captain. Oh, crap, Law? Another hit like that and the water pressure will crush us. Let's surface. We won't be able to escape. There's land northeast of here. Prepare. What the heck is this? Prepare for battle and be quick about it. What? Who the heck? Why is... Wow, Captain, you're so cute now. Do you have a death wish? Crap, we're sorry. What the heck is this? What is going on? Why is Law a girl? Hold up. It got me too. Keep away from the infected. His power's contagious. They're hoping to disorient us with this forced gender flipping. You know what's gonna happen? This is gonna freaking turn, you already know there's gonna be freaking massive fan art based on this chapter. Gender flipping? We're doing that now? Okay. Interesting. It'll be fine though. Our clashes with the Emperors taught me that Devil Fruit powers can be countered if you use a great deal of hockey. Captain, we've surfaced. Alright, Law's back to his normal self, I think. It's a big panel again, big spread. Let me just read in order. Try to not miss anything. Oh, he's managed to nullify the disease. I'd expect no less from a pirate worth 3 billion. That's how diseases go. An antibody always comes along, and when one person finds a remedy, it's not long before everyone's cured. It was entertaining though, right? I call this one the Milady Transformation Plague. Dang. Okay. The sick fruit? That's okay. Burgess, I'm gonna send you over to the island. I couldn't see if that was land or island. So it says Burgess, I'm gonna send you over to the island. Got it. Dang. Somebody's in the woods. Crap. My buff fruit powers are the freaking best. Alright, so we got Burgess again. He's in the picture. Burgess, he's lifting a mountain. Dang, he's that powerful? Dang. How'd he get in front of us? Superhuman strength, bizarre contagions, teleportation. These guys have hunted down some insane powers. No wonder their bounties keep rising. It's gonna crush us. Dang, so freaking Law is practically clashing with Blackbeard right now. How is he gonna manage this? Zeh-ha-ha-ha. It's been a while, hasn't it, Law? What do you want? Is that any way to speak to a fellow member of the worst generation? When you, Kid, and Straw Hat left Wano, I knew one of you would end up here. But I had no way of knowing which one of you would show. With Big Mom and Kaido gone, the world's gonna turn on its head. Sounds fun, huh? Zeh-ha-ha. Commodore, Stronger says he's struggling to carry our weight. I'm struggling myself. Dang, okay. Kaido had one, didn't he? Just how many road poneglyph rubbings have you got? I'll be taking them off your hands. You took the words right out of my mouth. Let's settle this. Winner takes all. When Titans clash, and that's going to be the end of chapter 1063. Okay, so this is big right here. This is big because I didn't expect, honestly, after Wano, I did not expect to see any of the worst generation, Law or Kid. I didn't expect to see them back in the picture so soon. But now here we have Law, and he's fighting Blackbeard. And his crew, Blackbeard is freaking insane. His entire crew is OP, dude. His entire crew is OP, and I hope, maybe this is where we will finally get to see how much Blackbeard has grown as a pirate. You know what I'm saying? We got a small glimpse of that during the invasion at freaking Amazon Lily with Boa and the Seraphims. We got a glimpse of that, very small glimpse. But this could be Blackbeard showcasing all his powers. I really do wonder how much control he has over his dark fruit, his tremor fruit, and has he gained any other abilities? Can he control more than 2 devil fruits? Is it outside? Like, I don't think it's outside the realm possibility that he could have up to 3. I think 3 might be like the magic number. Anything beyond that would be ridiculous. But I think Blackbeard could push it to 3. And dang, dude. I hope next chapter, there's no break, by the way. So I hope next week we see this fight happen. But for all we know, the chances are likely that we just cut right back to Egghead Island with Luffy and the crew. But I would love to see this fight. I hope they don't off-screen it. I really don't. I really hope they don't off-screen it. Man. So, when I look at this matchup, really, am I just underestimating Law's crew? Am I not putting respect on their name? Because I see Law's crew, and I honestly, they don't strike me as fighters. Like, they don't strike me as the type of crew that could match up with Blackbeard and his crew. They really just don't. They don't. I don't know. I don't know what to think of this. Like, looking at the matchup, looking at it right now, 1v1, I don't think there's any way Law wins. Blackbeard is just too good. And I know I'm saying that without knowing how good he has become. But if you just think logically, it's safe to assume that Blackbeard is freaking OP. Like, he's broken at this point. I still don't think Blackbeard is going to be the final boss, though. I really don't. I think Blackbeard and Luffy are going to fight. Eventually they're going to meet up and fight towards the climax, but I don't think Blackbeard is the final boss. I think that has to be him and the world government as a whole. I think that's what's going to happen. But it is interesting, right? It is interesting. Blackbeard knows about the road poneglyphs. No surprise there, of course. And now this is essentially a fight for winner takes all. So there's going to be no mercy in this fight. This is very dangerous. Blackbeard gets a hold of all of them. He's going to be making his way to Laugh Tale. And I've always said, I truly believe that Blackbeard is going to be the one to actually become King of the Pirates before Luffy. I think Luffy will eventually become Pirate King, but he's going to have to defeat Blackbeard for that title. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever else he has to do to get that title. I think he will eventually do it. But I think Blackbeard I think he's going to beat Luffy to Laugh Tale. Blackbeard. I think that's going to happen. And if you want to, if I might as well just throw out a prediction right here. Buggy, I think he might even become Pirate King first. Honestly, the way he's going, the way Buggy is going, just leveling up in the story for, in the way that only Buggy can do it, right? The way he's been going up in ranks, I think that Buggy could even somehow obtain the title of Pirate King, and then Blackbeard takes it from him, or something like that. That's kind of the picture I'm seeing play out in my head. But this is going to be an interesting scenario over here. Blackbeard versus Law. Crazy. What is going to happen here? And Berg is freaking lifting up a mountain just like that. These guys are OP. These guys are OP, dude. I gotta say though, the Sick Fruit transformation, the gender swap, it really did it threw me off. I was like, what the heck is going on? Does Law have a twin we don't know about? But then I was like, oh, that's what's going on. Okay, so that was interesting. And then Bonney, of course, has just massive trauma right now, seeing a pacifista in the shape of Kuma, of course. Dang. I feel bad for Bonney. I really do hope that they give us a backstory. Because even just looking at this panel with Bonney, she looks so happy with Kuma. Kuma just a regular guy. Having a, father-daughter moment right there. Just normal stuff. But then he goes on to become part of the government. And not only that, but a slave. Legit slave, cyborg, no consciousness, doesn't know who the heck he is or was. I think that's the thing I'm most interested in learning about in this arc. And I'm going to keep saying it. I'm going to keep saying it until we actually get those answers. What the heck did Kuma do? What did he go through? Why is he doing this? He was the king of the Sorbet Kingdom, right? And at one point, that title had to have been stripped of him. Maybe he was freaking stuttering. I have so much thoughts in my head. Maybe he was blackmailed by the government. Could it be possible that it was blackmail that caused him to work for the government? I don't know, because he was a revolutionary, right? So, is it possible that they could have seen that as some sort of betrayal, the government? Probably. What the heck happened? And Jewelry said that Kuma, her dad, is the only family that she has left. So we could take this, if we take this in a literal sense, is it possible that the Sorbet Kingdom was completely annihilated except for the only two survivors being Kuma and Bonney? Is it possible? Could be. Very possible, actually. Of course, it could also mean, Bonney could just be saying it as, he's the only family I've got, meaning everybody else drifted away. We could also interpret it in that sense. But maybe it is meant to be taken in a literal sense. Maybe it is just Bonney and Kuma. No other family members. No other friends. No nothing. No relatives. Maybe. It's going to be interesting how this whole arc plays out. This is a good arc so far. We're only like, what? Like a couple chapters into this arc, but it's a pretty good one. Really good arc. And I'm looking forward to seeing what happens next week. How's everybody doing? And welcome back to my channel in a brand new video. So today I'm going to be reading through One Piece chapter 1064. And I just want to see how the fight between Blackbeard and I was about to say martial law. We're not talking Tekken here. I want to see how the fight between Blackbeard and Law plays out, because am I underestimating Law's crew? Because as far as I know, yes, Law is one of the strongest players in One Piece, but at the same time, what is his crew? What are the abilities of Law's crew? They gotta be formidable in some sort of way, right? But in terms of like raw strength and like fighting, unless I don't remember, I don't think we've seen Law's crew fight. I don't think we've seen them fight. They've helped out in, they helped out in Wano. So they've been a factor in the story, but I can't remember how strong they are individually, right? So now we have Blackbeard versus Law. The stage is set, right? And no matter how I look at it, I can't see Blackbeard losing that fight. I can't see him losing that fight. So apparently they're going one-on-one now. Whoever wins gets all the road poneglyphs, and that's one step closer to reaching Laugh-Tale for the winner of that fight. But honestly, just the way things are set right now in the story, I honestly can't see Blackbeard losing. I cannot see him losing. His whole crew is OP. At this point, they're broken, dude. They have crazy devil fruit powers. You got teleportation. You got superhuman strength. Pegasus. The sick fruit. What the heck is a sick fruit? That was new to me. You can make people sick? The sick fruit? Okay. You got Blackbeard with his double devil fruits, the tremor and dark, of course. You got Katarina out there who has Absalom's fruit. I forget what that one's called. No, that's not Absalom. No, Shiryu. Shiryu of the Rain. He has Absalom's fruit, the clear fruit. I believe that's what it's called. He can turn invisible, right? Then what does Katarina have? She has I think it was a nine-tailed fox devil fruit or whatever the heck. She can transform into people, right? So, and not to mention, we also have, as it was revealed back in the day in Dressrosa, Aokiji is apparently also part of the Blackbeard Pirates. We just haven't seen him in action as part of the main crew, so that's also a factor we got to take into account. So no matter how we look at it, and then what's up with San Juan Wolf? What was his nickname? Battleship San Juan Wolf or whatever the heck. Point is, Blackbeard has an insane crew with insane abilities at his disposal. Looking at all of that, I can't see Law winning. There's no way out for the guy unless someone comes in and kind of teams up with him, but I don't know how that's going to play out. I think that's what I'm most excited about, the cliffhanger from last week. But yeah, there's so much going on in this arc, and we have Jewelry on her side quest. Not her side quest. Her main purpose right now is to find Vegapunk and figure out what the heck happened to Kuma. That's something that I think we're all wondering, what happened to Kuma? What's his backstory? What led him to this? And all of that, you know what I'm saying? But overall, this chapter, not this chapter, this entire arc, the Egghead Island arc, so far has been really good. And I'm excited to see what this new chapter today holds. So I'm going to just go ahead and start reading. One Piece chapter 1064, Egghead's Research Stratum. And then we got the cover story. Oh crap, look who it is. Cover story. Germa 66, Cold-Blooded Voyage, Volume 22. Kuzan and Algar. Did I say the name right? I forget. Anyway, Kuzan and Algar of the Blackbeard Pirates. Dang, look at this panel right here, dude. Is that Pudding in handcuffs? Kind of looks like Pudding. Yeah, because they are in Whole Cake, right? The story, the cover story, it's been established that Aokiji is in Whole Cake Island and he froze the entire thing over. I really want to see these story arcs animated. Like, the cover stories, they should really be animated. Is this something that's going to happen after the main One Piece anime ends? Could be. But like I said, like it would be great to see these cover stories animated because there's some really important stuff. And I've been guilty of glancing over the cover stories just because of, you know, what they are. You know, it's just a cover story. Just some nice little details here and there. But, you know, when you actually pay attention, there's some major key information being revealed in these cover stories that really kind of gives behind the scenes, you know, insight as to what's going on outside the main storyline. And then something that happens in the cover story will come back in the main story, and it's like, oh, that makes sense, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, dang, so I wonder what what's gonna happen here? I wonder if Aokiji has a secret agenda. Like, did he join Blackbeard to kind of keep him in check, like keep an eye on him? Because we got to remember, Kobe is now also apparently kidnapped by the Blackbeard pirates. So is that Kobe's way of getting in contact with Aokiji? Like, is that some type of secret plan that they've been working on? I don't know. Anyway, so that was the cover story. There's a lot more I could say about that, but let me just go ahead and start reading the actual chapter. A battle that shakes the world. So we're not wasting any time. We're picking up right where we left off. Blackbeard versus Law. Zehahaha. Then he's using his tremor. There's no escape, so don't bother running. Room. Amputate. Dang. Take care of the polar tang. On it. Okay. Dang, dude. Look, I love this action scene right here. Get in the sea and provide cover. We're on it. Dang. Wow. Strong. Oh, dang, he got wrecked. He got cut in half. I kind of read some of the panels out of order, but, you know, I'm just... it's just a big spread. I'm just kind of looking at everything now. No one told me his power could do that. Dang. Is he using an awakened technique? Quake crash. I love this scene right here. Like, I think we've all been wondering what Blackbeard's capabilities are after the post-time skip, because we haven't really seen him fight. We saw a brief glance of it when he invaded Amazon Lily, but I think this is going to be the first actual glance, true view, like a good look at to how Blackbeard has developed his strength over the last 2 years. This is interesting. All right, next page. Zehahaha. So this is the power of a Quake Man. The shockwaves are too intense. Don't die on me now, Stronger. Yeah, poor Stronger. He's just, okay, you've always been such a good boy. I hope he doesn't die, honestly. Eat this. They're apple bombs. Take cover. Is that, okay. Dang, okay. Some type of hyper beam looking action over here. Next page. Dang, there's a freaking big explosion right now. Boom. Huh? It's a big mistake to underestimate us. Hey, it's like he's talking to us. It's like he's talking to the audience. It's a big mistake to underestimate us when we grew up in the harsh, cold waters of the North Blue. You ain't got a chance against us in a sea battle. All we gotta do is sink your ship. You know, he has a point, because as far as we know, all of Blackbeard's crew is, you know, they're devil fruit eaters, so they're going to be screwed if they go in the water, right? Sniper at 3 o'clock. Protect the captain. Room. He's some bodyguard. Okay. Shock Willie. The hell is this? Dang, Blackbeard's getting wrecked. Oh, crap. Dang, Blackbeard got wrecked. I mean, he feels a lot of pain in general, but dang. This is what happens when you charge in half-cocked. Warp. Shall we return to the ship, Commodore? Huh, don't be an idiot. We finish what we start. Zehaha. Blackbeard's here. Do all your officers have devil fruit powers? Zehaha. Blackbeard's just like, dang, he's not phased. Must be a pretty raw deal hauling around so many anchors. They call them devil fruits for a reason. That weakness is well worth the trade-off. Gwah, they're attacking from below. The bastards are trying to sink us. Who knew they were so strong underwater? So that's where their main strength is. All right, that makes sense. I'm glad we're getting a look into the abilities of Law's crews, because like I said in the beginning, like, you know, how the heck are they going to fight? You know, like, we really haven't seen them in action, but we're getting answers now. We're getting answers. So, all right, moving on. We might be taking a pounding now, but there'll be history soon. The Commodore's the strongest around. Dang, they do got pudding in lockup. Mama's going to make you eat those words if she's still alive. New eras only happen when the old legends are torn down. You know what? Here's what I like about this, right? Here's what I like about this pudding panel. Hold up, I missed a bubble. Yeah. So she's laughing. You realize we're fighting her killer now, right? Okay, yeah, now, yeah, new eras only happen when the old legends are torn down. Messy reading there, but you know what I'm saying. So, Big Mom Pirate Charlotte Pudding. So here's what I like about this panel of Pudding right now. She has her third eye exposed. We haven't seen Pudding since we left her back in the day in Whole Cake Island. You know what I'm saying? So this to me is it's a pleasant surprise, because this to me shows some type of character development, right? Because as we know, Pudding has this third eye that she always kept hidden, because all her life since she was a kid, she got bullied for it. You know, she got teased, she got bullied, she got beat up. They called her like a witch, creepy, ugly. Even her own mom, Big Mom, her own mother, was like, hey, you know what, Pudding? Grow out your hair, you know, cover that ugly thing with your bangs because I don't want to see it. You know, that we saw that flashback, right? So her whole life, Pudding has been called ugly, freak, whatever the heck, every mean name in the book because of her third eye. Along comes Sanji, right? And we all, you know, in Pudding's head, remember, she was thinking, you know, once he sees my third eye, he's going to fall back in fear, and that's going to give me the opportunity to take him down. And you know what Sanji says? He doesn't care. He's just like, what a beautiful eye. Like, he essentially compliments her. Pudding couldn't believe it. She breaks down in tears, and that was the end of it, right? So now, this to me shows a lot of character development, because she's no longer afraid or ashamed of her third eye. It's out there in the open, bangs not covering her forehead, third eye open. I like it. I like it a lot. All right, so that was that panel. So let's go ahead and move on. Is Big Mom actually dead? I don't think she's dead. Her status is unconfirmed as of right now. We didn't see a body. We don't have confirmation. They are saying, you know, we're fighting her killer right now, but you know how much weight that holds, I don't know. All right, back to the fight. So we got Law and Blackbeard clashing. This is sick, dude. Black Vortex, Blackbeard and Trafalgar Law have made contact on Winter Island in the New World. So we're forced to wait again. Being Fleet Admiral is so damn frustrating. Dang. Meanwhile, on Egghead, the island of the future. Wow, the pacifista stopped as soon as we changed. That's good, but did you have to make me this old, Bonney? And I get how you feel, but it only looks like your dad. If we can't take any of them out, we'll be in trouble. Have a heart, Luffy. Sorry, Bonney. Pacifistas just bring up some bad memories for us. Kuma may no longer be human, but that doesn't make it any easier for his daughter to come face to face with his doppelganger. Dang. Wow, look at what happened here. Bonney, using her devil fruit powers, aged everybody up. Holy crap, look at Luffy, aged 70. A glimpse at a possible future? I hope that's not what Luffy looks like at age 70. Imagine that's what he does look like though? Dang. I like that tease Oda threw in. A glimpse at a possible future. So we got Luffy aged up to 70, Chopper's looking very sick and tired. Jinbei, what the heck happened to Jinbei? What the heck? Hey, can you turn me back? Nothing personal, Bonney. But what I know about Kuma doesn't paint a pretty picture. He was, Wow, okay, so Jinbei he's giving us some lore right now, some background context here. So we got Jinbei's telling this story about what he knows about Kuma. We get a brief, look into what Kuma looked like when he was a king. He was a tyrannical king of the Sorbet Kingdom before he was deposed by the people and forced to become a pirate. Okay, so interesting. So before I make my thoughts, let me continue the reading. Okay, so he was forced to become a pirate. Bonney is just silent, listening to the story. When he was eventually caught by the Navy, his ties to the revolutionaries came to light, and they gave him a life sentence. Vegapunk took an interest in him due to his physical prowess, so he was offered the opportunity to roam the seas again as a warlord, on the condition that he become a specimen for body modification and cloning. Does that cover it? I get why he'd choose to be a warlord dog and help them make their clone soldiers. But why would anyone knowingly agree to become a mindless cyborg? Anyone can see it's just as bad as a death sentence. Interesting. Okay. So Jinbei, what he's telling us here is that, Kuma wasn't a kind king, All this time in my head, I thought, hey, maybe Kuma was a kind king for his country. And then something happened, his land got invaded, he was defeated, revolutionary ties were exposed. You know what I'm trying to say? All this time I thought Kuma was going to be a kind king, but apparently it's the opposite according to what Jinbei is saying. Interesting. That's interesting to me. Okay. So he was forced to become a pirate, caught by the Navy. Revolutionary times came to light. Vegapunk took an interest in him, given the opportunity to go about the seas as a warlord, on the condition that he become a specimen for body modification and cloning, and become a cyborg, essentially. So that's what Jinbei is telling us. All right, next page. True enough. So Jinbei continues. True enough. Still, I wonder which one of Tyrant Kuma's crimes earned him his life sentence. Daddy was no stinking tyrant, and he hated the government. He'd never submit to them. They must have forced him to accept the procedures somehow. That's kind of my thinking. Did he do it on his will, or was it blackmail? A beam saber. That's awesome. We must be in the scrapyard for Vegapunk's junk. This still works, though. He may call himself a scientist, but to me, he's just a murderer. Dad always used to say he was part of a very special race. But so what? Him being different doesn't justify forcing him to be a lab rat, and it sure as hell doesn't justify killing him. You said it. A special race? Is he going to be a Lunarian as well? Can't be, right? Lunarians have brown skin, tan skin, brown skin, white hair. Did Kuma dye his hair? Let's see what the next page says. Okay, but before I go into the next page, Jinbei says, which one of his crimes earned him a life sentence? So interesting. What, we're talking about Kuma. He did many evil things, apparently, committed crimes. Jinbei's wondering which one. Which one? Kuma's backstory is insane. Like, one of the most interesting, I think. Alright, so this is a nice art panel by Bonney. I like her. I like this outfit she has on. Alright, so let me just reread that. So, Dad always used to say he was part of a very special race, but so what? Him being different doesn't justify forcing him to be a lab rat. Alright, and Chopper's like, a special race? Give us the answer on the next page, please. Come on. No, we're going to another... scene cuts. The Thousand Sunny. Whoa, we're flying. The robot's soaring through the air. Naturally, this is Vega Force after all. Its anti-grav unit and jet thrusters allows it to easily sustain this propulsion. Anti-gravity? The island aircon is also needed to ensure a suitable climate. One day, this will be possible anywhere. There are giant monsters down there, like it's some kind of futuristic city. Precisely. The world of tomorrow is built here. Okay. Oh, big panel spread. All right, let me try to read this in the correct order. This is Egghead Island. This is Egghead, the island of the future. The research stratum is right above the clouds. And I gotta say, I do like Oda's world building. Specifically, the designs he gives every island and like city in the game, not the game, the series. It's very creative. And the fabrication stratum is just below us. Our manufacturers and research assistants reside there. I can hear a captain is down there causing a hullabaloo. As long as he's all right. Okay. Aren't you two coming? Zoro? Brook? Nah. I like how Zoro's just like, nah. So he's gonna watch the ship, and Brook is like, ditto. Alright, that woman can't be trusted. Whoa, it's just like the solid clouds from the sky. This really takes me back. It's my first time. What the heck is this? It's as you surmised. Seeing as we can control the island's atmosphere and all, we can actually make use of pyroblowing? To, hey, that's the frickin', what's it called? Isn't that like what the sea stones are made of? Like the prism sea stone, or whatever the heck, one of the main ingredients in it. Pretty sure. I'm pretty sure I'm right on that. Anyway, moving on. Alright, so she's explaining how she can do all these things, thus recreating the island and sea clouds you usually find on Sky Islands. Okay. This is the entrance to the main lab. Wow, it's so flashy. Do make sure to change into some appropriate attire before entering. You can get a costume from the dressing transformation room there. When you try on a pair of Dom shoes, don't forget to use the lever. They can adjust to fit no matter your foot size. Looks heavy. Okay. Whoa, this is awesome. These futuristic duds are the freaking best. Dang. New outfits? I'm liking it. Look at that. Everyone looks tight. Nami, Robin's outfit looks nice. I gotta say, dude, definitely getting Astro Boy vibes. I think I've said that before, but dang. I'm liking the outfits. I like them a lot. These just scream aloha, don't they? Okay. But wow, Nami, you and Robin look amazing. What cutting edge fashion. You look real tough in that, Robin. Really? How about me? You look freaky in anything. You're gonna make me blush. The problem with being a genius is that you can see your own future coming too. What are you talking about, Vegapunk? I think I'll be dead soon. Don't kid about something like that. I just wanted you to know about this. Dragon! Yo, hold up. How are these two connected? That's the end of chapter 1064. And what? Of course, there is a break next week. Okay. Wow. Wow. So that's the okay. Great chapter. I love this chapter because it had a little bit of everything. We started off with Law and Blackbeard fighting. We got some action, right? We got some backstory to Kuma, through Jinbei, explaining his backstory a little bit, the lore behind Kuma, which we really have no idea what he's been all about this time, the entirety of this time. We got Bonney saying that apparently Kuma is of a special race. So that is interesting to me because immediately my thoughts went to Lunarians. Kuma has dark skin. He's a huge man. Is it possible that he has white hair and just colored it different, like dyed it? Could be. Am I thinking too much into this? I have no idea. But could Kuma be a Lunarian? He doesn't have wings, though. Is that... Maybe he is, maybe he's not. Maybe he's an entirely new race that we are going to get introduced to. But dang. And now, what does Dragon know about Vegapunk? How are they connected, right? Man, so many mysteries that this story is throwing at us that eventually have to get resolved. But dang, it keeps you coming back and back like, wow. This design that Vegapunk has, it reminds me of Naoki Urasawa's Pluto. If you guys are familiar with Urasawa's work and Pluto, I think you will see some similarities between Vegapunk's outfit here and one of the characters from that series. And again, this takes me back to what I said earlier and what I've been saying. I'm getting a lot of Astro Boy inspired vibes in this arc. And Pluto is actually a retelling of a certain Astro Boy arc. So, I'm seeing some similarities here. You know what I'm saying? Can't be coincidence, right? Interesting ending, though. I can't get over the ending. I just wanted you to know about this dragon. What the heck is Dragon's deal? When you really think about it, the most mysterious people, off the top of my head, the most mysterious people in this series of One Piece are Dr. Vegapunk, Monkey D. Dragon, and Kuma. I think those four are by far the most mysterious characters in this series. And it looks like at least 3 of those will have some type of impact on this arc. I don't know how long Dragon's going to be in the picture. They can't just throw this out and not continue it next chapter, right? Then again, Oda could very well do that. In fact, I do expect it. But this is such a tease. I would love to know more about Vegapunk and Dragon's connection. So many mysteries. Great chapter. Great chapter.